What bike should I take today? Man, I really feel like riding today. I think I'm gonna hit the canyons. Maybe I'm gonna go with my buddies. I'm not sure yet. Alright, stop with the nonsense. Get your gear up, get a jacket, get some nice boots, get some nice gloves. Come on, bro, stop with the Instagram boots. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about how we can tell you're a newbie at riding. So we're gonna be talking about the mistakes rookies make when they're freshly starting to ride a motorcycle. So guys, let's get into it and let's talk about some of the most common issues. What's going on out here? Weird. All right, and if you guys can hear those weird screams, it's because we're actually right in front of a zoo. Right here, we're located at, I think it's called Gold Creek. It's an outdoor zoo. There's a bunch of animals, wild animals, and reptiles, but it's pretty crazy. They actually have a camel back there. But anyways, back to our videos. Another way I could tell you're a noob is depending on the helmet you're wearing. Now me, this helmet, I actually bought it for $100 USD. It's an AGV. It's very simple. A lot of people have it out there. There's nothing nice, but if you are wearing a furry hair helmet with freaking ears on there, what the f, bro? They look funny. You look like you don't know how to ride. You could look like somebody. I mean, you could be a good rider, but if you're wearing one of those helmets, people are gonna talk smack. Now, I'm not saying don't do it. I mean, obviously, if you like doing that, by all means, maybe it's your dream come true. But if you do wear a helmet like that, people are gonna think you're a noob. And another easy way to tell if you're a noob is by seeing which way you get on the motorcycle. You need to make sure you always get on the motorcycle on the side of the kickstand, not on this side, on the side of the kickstand. So if I see you going like this, and trying to get on, you're doing it wrong. You should always be getting on this side. Look how easy it is. Look how much better it looks. There, I could tell you have some time riding. Alright guys, the next one, this is more of a safety tip. Make sure you slow down on intersections. I've said this before in a couple of my videos. You need to make sure you slow the hell down on the intersection because that's where most of the accidents happen. And of course on the motorcycle, cars are not going to see you. I mean, you've probably heard this before, people don't see you on a motorcycle. But it'd be the worst if you're speeding on the intersection and a car literally stops in front of you when you're going 60, 80 miles per hour on the intersection. So please guys, make sure that you're slowing down on the intersections. All right, so the other biggest mistake rookies do is not looking back when they're turning. They only want to look on their mirrors. They only want to depend on their mirrors. And that is one of the most red flags when you're riding a motorcycle, because if you know from experience, you know that sometimes cars will go on the blind spot even if you're on a motorcycle. And the proper way to look back, I'm going to show you guys. So let's say I'm riding and I'm going fast and I want to change lanes. I want to make sure I look back every time, but you need to turn your whole body. So guys, make sure you use your mirrors if you have them. If not, make sure you guys are turning your body back at all times, because if you have experience, you know that sometimes you still get a blind spot on the mirrors. Don't do nothing weird or silly. You don't have to do some weird stuff, but just make sure that you are turning your body back and forth. I just heard that again. I don't know what kind of bird that is, but it's something crazy and it's big. Anyways, guys, the #1 rookie mistake is the lane position. All right, guys, so one of the biggest mistakes you can do is when you're riding on the busy street like here that we're doing right now, whenever you see a lot of driveways on the right hand side, you don't want to drive really close to that right hand side lane, especially because cars will come out. And then of course right now we want them to be able to see us, so we're going in the left side of the lane. But what I mean by that is when there's a lot of driveways, obviously there's going to be a lot of cars coming out, and you don't want a car to accidentally pop out way too much and you're coming and you hit the car. So if you can, you want to stay on the left side of the lanes. So if there's 2 lanes, try to stay on this left side. But if it's only 1 lane and you see that there's a lot of traffic, of course, you want to be able to stay, like let's say you want to stay on the right lane, you want to stay on the left hand side. So pretty much I'm gonna show you guys. So you guys would want to be right here, and that's just because I've learned over the years that some cars will like to pop out of the driveways. Like you see the driveway right there, they like to pop out. So it's always better to stay on the left hand side of the lane where the cars can see you. And plus, you don't want to be in the middle where you can actually grab oil and stuff. Stay on the left hand side. As you guys can see, look at the cars are peeking. All right guys, so this is gonna take us to our next biggest newbie mistake ever, and this is opening up wide enough for turns. So before you get to a turn, you always want to open up and then you want to hit apex. So let's say there's a turn coming up, I'm gonna go wide up so you guys can see I'm opening up wide, and then now I'm cutting in. I kind of did it. Obviously we're not going fast, but I've noticed a lot of newbie people, they don't do that. Oh, I just hit a pole. They don't do that, and they tend to not be able to go fast enough on the turn. So like right now, if I wanted to, I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna come in. So always before you get to a turn, open up and then you're gonna cut in, and that's just gonna make you better for turning too. I mean, it happens to me still at this time. Even though after so many years that I have riding, I sometimes forget to open up before I hit a turn. But like right now, look, there's a turn coming up. I'm gonna open up wider and I'm just gonna come in, and I can cut straight in. Same thing right here. I'm on the outside. You want to drive on the outside of the lane, and then as the turn comes in, you want to cut in. Okay, we opening up and then we're gonna cut in again. The more you practice, the better you're gonna get, obviously. This is a newbie mistake. If you're a rookie, it's gonna happen to you a lot. You're gonna forget sometimes. But the more you remember, the more you practice, the better you're gonna get it. Right here, there's dirt on the floor. So, ooh, yeah, you can feel it. That was a little dangerous. I didn't really want to open up too much on that one because I felt it weird. So, same thing. There's a turn coming up. Open up wide. All right, here we go. Here we go. Super simple, super easy, but it has to be one of the biggest mistakes people do when they're barely learning how to ride. They do not open up wide enough. All right guys, and rev bombing your bike at every meet when you're entering, people are gonna know you are a noob. Do not be revving the hell out of your bike like crazy non-stop, because when do you really see a 1000 revving the hell out of it? Like, you never see a 1000 at a meet just revving. And it also gets really annoying when you hear a super loud 400cc bike straight piped revving the hell out of it. Now, I did tell you guys that you need to have an exhaust on your bike, but it doesn't have to be extremely loud, of course, because why? Cars need to be able to hear you. They can't see you, they maybe hear you, so it's a safety thing. But rev bombing the hell out of your bike, it's not something an expert would do. So that's another rookie mistake. All right, now earlier I was in a robe and I had my boots on and I was just messing around, but in reality, you guys do need a pair of gloves. These are very important. Obviously, you're gonna get a helmet, but try to get some boots. Let me record some boots. These are cheap boots. I got them extremely cheap for like 130 bucks. I forgot already. 130 bucks. But they do have some metal on the sides. These will protect you. So it's important that you guys get the right gear. If you don't have leather, then at least wear some jeans. This material will help you out a little bit more if you do fall. And then in here, I actually have protection. So it may not look like I have a lot of protection, but I actually do. So having the proper gear tells you a lot in the beginning. when you're first riding, make sure you have all the gear possible. Once you know you're more experienced, I mean, that's fine. You know, you're gonna go to the gym, you know, wear sweatpants, that's fine. But when you're starting out, do not mess around. Wear the proper gear. Try to have a leather jacket. Try to have leather pants. If you don't, some jeans will do it. When I first started, I was always wearing my leather jacket and leather pants. Then I used to go to school and I would always wear at least some jeans and some boots. So we're all different, of course. There's always cheap clothes that you can buy online used. So always check up on that. And there's a saying that's very popular. I forgot how it goes, but pretty much what it's saying is that you're either going to go down or you have already crashed. So guys, remember that you don't know when it's going to happen. I already had my accident. It was on an ATV and I learned from it. It was because I was going crazy and I was getting very comfortable with the motorcycle. So now when I ride a street bike, I don't ride like that anymore. I don't try to go all crazy. I try to be calm because it already happened to me. So when it happens to you, you kind of learn from it and you calm down. But when you're new, it's always better that you keep it calm. So if you ever crash, it's something small. And yeah, we all love you guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Let's go.